If you're kind of bored with your layering stamps and their predictable look, let's spice things up a bit with a classic stamping technique, stamping with bleach. Every technique video is narrated live while I'm doing the technique, so you're getting a real-time view of how the whole process works. Pull out the supplies I'm using and create right along with me, pausing as you need. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. Before we get started, just a quick reminder that if you are going to be using bleach outside of its original container, please do mark it clearly and keep it out of the reach of children. Also, work in a well-ventilated area and make sure that your work surface is set up for working with bleach and that you've got things well protected where needed. Before you get started with your project, you're going to want to test some samples to make sure that you know how your paper is going to react. You may not get the result that you're expecting. So just spraying a little bit of bleach or dropping a little bit of bleach onto a piece of cardstock will help you to understand what color you're going to get. For example, for this demonstration, I'm going to be using 2 pieces of gray cardstock. Now they look almost exactly the same on the video, but I will tell you you're going to get 2 different results with this, and we're going to see that as we go. So what I have here is a piece of paper toweling, and it is just on a plastic palette, and we're going to use this as our stamp pad. And then I've got my bleach, and I'm going to take a little pipette. I'm going to put it out on the paper here, on the paper towel. And you want to make sure that you've got a pretty decent amount on there so you can really get a good impression. And we're going to start with this piece right here. So for both of these, I'm going to start with a outline image. And this happens to be a layering stamp, which I think is a really cool way to do bleach stamping. Now you can do just the outline like this and get a really cool result. So let's see what this one looks like. So this one is going to start reacting right away. And as that's reacting, I'm going to go ahead and stamp in and stamp on this other piece of gray. And we're going to see what color we get on this one. For this one, you can see that the color is completely different. So I'm going to go ahead and dry these with my heat tool, and we'll be right back to compare the differences. All right, so now that these are both dry, you can see they're both gray cardstock. They were both very similar in color, but this particular cardstock had more of a yellow-green undertone, and that's what the bleach brought out. This one had more of a purple-blue back undertone, and that's what came out of this particular gray. So the bleach will always bring out the undertones that are used to create the paper, and this is a really great demonstration of that. So now that we have this beautiful stamped image, we can leave these just like this. This image is absolutely gorgeous, will look great on a project. You don't really have to do anything else, but you can. So since this is a layering stamp, it has a couple of different layers. We've got that full background layer, which you could use, but it is going to fill in this whole space. It will make what's already bleached lighter, so you will still see that outline, but it may just be a little bit too much. So what I recommend is going for one of the more detailed layers like this one here. And again, you're just going to stamp that up, and with your layering stamps, of course, you're going to line them up the best you can, do your stamping. And as you can see, that's going to start reacting. So let's do this one up here. Same thing, going to line that up and stamp that right on the cardstock. And as they start to react, you're going to see that gorgeous look that it's going to create with that layer. So these are actually already almost dry, almost completely reacted. And what you can see is that where it has gone over the original stamping, it's gotten a little bit lighter there, and that's going to help those layers differentiate, and you'll be able to see the original line along with the detail stamping as well. So it creates a really gorgeous look, gives you a little bit more detail, and it really brings out the color of the paper as well. So there you go, a really cool way to breathe new life into your layering stamps with a little bit of bleach and a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this technique and you add it into your toolbox sometime soon. When you give it a try, share it out on Instagram and tag me at NicoleWattCreates. I always love to see what your creative mind is thinking. Thank you so much for spending a little time with me today, and until next time, happy crafting.